Hello everyone, welcome back to the Everyday with Zach Jose podcast. I'm the host Zach Jose, and today I'm here with a very special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Rochelle Wilhelms.
Yay! Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's fun to be here.
Yeah, okay, so you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, who you are, what you do, how you know me?
Yeah. Okay, so I've known you. Well, let's go back really quick. Who am I? I am a wife and a mother of 3. I am a wedding photographer, also a portrait photographer. But I've known you since the day you were born. So I guess that would make me pretty old because I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
you were there?
Well, I wasn't in the
Okay,
room.
okay.
But you were born April 1st or April 2nd. I don't remember. 2nd?
5th.
April 5th. Oh, this is terrible. It was Jeremiah that was born on April 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were born April 5th, and Andrew, my son, was born May 14th. So you're 6 weeks older than him. And so I was pregnant with your mother. We were both roly-poly, walking and getting our exercise so that we could squeeze you pups out. If I could say that on a podcast.
Like Mary and Elizabeth almost?
Yes. I guess she would be...
She'd be Mary.
I guess I'd be Elizabeth. So that would make you Jesus.
There you go.
All right.
All right, yeah. I like that.
Uh-huh.
But cool. So yeah, you're a photographer. That's really interesting.
So yeah, I'm a photographer. I started photography back in high school. It was the only elective that it was a pre-period elective, so I actually was on time. Like I didn't like school, but this one year that I took film photography, it was the only time I was ever on time to a class, and it was a period. So we had to be there at like 7 a.m.
Dang.
I'm not a morning person. And, but I loved it. And they would have to tell me, like, I'd be in the dark room and they're like, Rochelle, it's time to go. Like, you have to, like, hurry up, you know? I never wanted to leave and go to my English class or whatever, was next. But, and then in college, I started, taking a photography class for my art, because you have to have art. And so I took photography for art, and same thing happened. I would be in the studio because they had big studios there. So instead of being in a dark room, now I'm in a studio with backdrops and flashes, and so we would be able to rent the studio out in the evening, and they would show up and they'd be like, it's 11 o'clock at night and the college is shutting down. Like, you have to leave.
Dang.
So I would get lost. Like that thing that you love in your life, that thing that you can get lost in is really, like, I think it's your calling. I think that it's, if we can all do, a little bit of that passion, like if we all have that, we're really lucky. People that get to do those things are very, very lucky when it's like those things that you get lost in. And so I got lost in photography. I just would, like, time just stopped, and I loved what I was doing. So
That's so
I just
cool.
kept doing it. Yeah. And now I shoot weddings, and I shoot portraits and some headshots for corporations and things like that. Some senior portraits for seniors in high school. And yeah, so pretty much, who sees me and says, hey, come help me out here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And all your stuff is like super cool too.
Thanks.
I gotta say, my favorite of your work that you've done, because I mean I've seen some of it. You've even like helped us out sometimes, taking photos of us.
Yeah.
My favorite was my senior photos. That
Yes.
those are fun.
Your senior photos scared me
They do.
because
Oh.
Like, I will do anything for a photo, but your senior photo, it was me making you do anything for the photo. And so your senior photo was awesome. We went to the top of a building in Roseville, California, and it was the top of the Tower Theater. And but like there was what it was like a parking garage, right?
Yeah.
But the tower, you could still see the tower. And I wanted you to sit on the edge, like you could have fallen to your death. Now, I really like, to your podcast listeners, don't do this at home. Like, really, this is really bad. But I trusted you. Like, I've known you ever since you were born.
Yeah.
But normally I'm the one kind of risking myself a little bit. I'll get in the middle of the street. I'll lay down in the middle of the street on my belly. Like, somebody told me, of course, come quick. I take my camera in the water. I've taken it into the beach water before. Like, I really kind of go where the image is going to be best taken. But this one, the image was best taken with you literally sitting on the wall with that beautiful tower sign behind you with the teal. It just was gorgeous. It was really magical and beautiful. And I really appreciate that you didn't fall to your death.
Me too.
Yeah. So
can you pad for just a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
Or just
pad?
I don't know, just keep talking.
Oh, I'm supposed to keep talking. So here's the smut on Zach. So Zachy, the funny thing about Zach is there's really not a lot of smut. He's such a good kid, so I can't really pad a lot because I don't think you've really done anything wrong in your whole life.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm like, here's the smut on Zach when you left, and I'm
Right.
like, the truth is, there's no smut. There's nothing bad to say.
All right. Yeah. Dang. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photography's cool.
So.
Doing that. Do you want to get into it now?
I can get into whatever you want to get into.
Okay.
What's your question?
Girls.
Oh my. I am one.
Well,
Old
yes.
one. I'm an old one.
Right.
I'm an old broad. Girls. So
what is it? I don't know. What's the... I feel like they're just I don't want to say they're... I don't understand it. I don't understand girls.
okay. Well,
Just give me
girls are complicated.
Okay.
Okay, so girls are complicated. First off, here's the thing that you need to know about girls, okay? Most girls, I would probably say 80% girls have a fantasy life in their head. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean sexual fantasy or anything like that.
Right.
I mean they live in this wouldn't it be great if fantasy. And so they dream about their wedding, and they dream about these beautiful experiences and things like that. And so a lot of times girls you kind of have to pull them out of the clouds,
Right.
So but yeah, I don't really even know what to say about girls for you. I don't know what you're experiencing or what you're not. So okay, so here's the thing. So back to that fantasy thing, right? Girls fantasize about what the guy would be like a girl that's never dated before, or a girl that's just not starting out dating. She's gonna imagine a guy in her mind, and she's gonna imagine what she's even seen in movies and stuff, which I highly don't recommend, because no guy really can measure up to what they're showing in the movies, and it's just so not true. Guys are not, I don't know, I'm so old, the movies that I watch were 80s movies, and Say Anything, the guy's standing with his boombox, and he's outside her window, and this, the song In Your Eyes is playing, he's trying to get her attention. It's oh, the girl's swooning, you're whoo, Guys don't do that.
No.
They just don't do that, right?
Oh,
But girls
man.
want that romance, and they want that
Right.
thing. So, so girls want to be pursued, they do. They want to be pursued, but it's there's such a fine line, Zach. There's a fine line between being pursuing and then turning into creeper, right? Creeper mode. Oh no.
Yeah.
So I really I have a lot of respect for guys, because you really have to lay it out there. You lay yourself out there, like, okay, I'm gonna ask her out. Like, you get the nerve, you're like, okay, I'm gonna ask her out. I'm gonna ask her out, and then she's like, oh, I really think of you like a friend, You're like, oh my God, I risked it all, So guys really have it, I think, a little bit harder. But so girls, like, are you asking me, like, what do girls want? Or
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's different for everybody, but I could tell you what girls don't want.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's start with that.
okay, girls don't want to be pursued by a guy who just wants someone to, like, fill their mother's shoes. Like you're moving out on your own and you're like, crap, my laundry is, like, dirty, and, like, these dishes need to be cleaned, and, like, just, like, having that thing of, like, oh, we'll get married and she'll do all the domestic duties. And I think girls are, that used to be the 50s housewife, that was her dream, was to create her little nest, make it all pretty.
Right.
And, he'd bring home the bacon and she'd have the meal ready while she wore her little sweet little dress and her pearls. And of course she had her hair all perfectly coiffed, and, but girls are like, no, I want to own my own business. Like, I want, like, they have dreams and they have goals. And
Yeah.
so I think that girls want a guy who's gonna, like, support their endeavors and like really, like, be their cheerleader. But they also want girls want understanding too. Everybody wants understanding.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think they want I think that they want a guy to listen to them. They want a guy that they can share things with and talk to them. But they definitely don't want to be told what to do. They don't. So that's a hard one, because you might, like, guys see the problem and they want to fix it. And they're
Right.
like, hey, just do this. And they're like, I want to talk about my feelings. So, and the reason why? I just learned the reason why.
Okay, why is that?
Okay, so there is a section in your brain. There are 4 sections in your brain. There's the amygdala, and there's, like, the hippocampus. And I'm not a brain person at all, but I was reading this. And when a person is, like, they keep saying the same thing, like, maybe you've gotten in a fight with your girlfriend, and
Right.
she's like, she keeps saying the same thing. And if she doesn't feel heard by you, then she will keep saying the same. Like, she will literally just keep saying the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the very best thing for you to do, like, this is advice, like, girl 101, or even just human relationship 101, is to repeat back to them. Okay, so what you're saying is, when I didn't open the car door for you in front of your parents, that really hurt your feelings, because you pumped me up as a complete gentleman, and I completely spaced and thought you could get your own door. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Right.
Like, let's just say that's what she was upset about. If you can repeat back to her and she's like, yes, and then okay, here's
Okay,
the
how do you
thing.
fix that?
No, you say, and what else?
Oh.
With the girl.
Oh.
And what else? Is there anything else? Yes, and you blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then you have to go back to step 1.
Right.
So I
And repeat
didn't
it again.
open the door. I didn't, and I didn't do this. And then here's the thing. If you say, and you felt this way by that, if you say, and I think you felt this way by that, girl, dude, you've got the girl in your hands. Because if you can say to the girl, what I hear you saying is, you're feeling this way, and she will feel understood. And if a girl feels understood by a guy, loyalty, you got her.
Wow.
You got her.
This is the secret.
It's a
This is
secret.
it.
Secret sauce right there. You have her. If you can articulate back to her how she's feeling and just let her process that and not fix it, right? Something's the problem. Like, obviously the car door is not a problem.
Right.
But, like, I have no idea. But if she's doing something if she's upset about, let's say she's upset about a friend, it doesn't even have to be about you. It could just be like, my friend so and so, I told her not to tell Becky, and she wouldn't tell Becky, and you're like, don't be her friend anymore, like, right? But just like you're telling her this problem solving. No, can't do that. You can't do any problem solving, none whatsoever, unless they ask. If they're like, how do you put this together? I don't know how to do this. Or in your case, because you're really, really good with numbers, like, how do I balance my checkbook? Right? Could you balance my checkbook for me? Right. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. But if they're just complaining, then you have to say, it sounds like to me that you might be feeling this way. And you have to just mirror back to them what they just need a sounding board. That's all they want is a sounding board.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And you grew up with 2 sisters. Like, it would be kind of fascinating to, like, do this for a week with Annie and Sophia and just be like, the next time they're like, Zach, sounds to me like I really hurt your feelings. You did, Zach. I don't know. Anyway.
No, okay.
So, yeah.
Wow, I really like that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. And
how long did it take you how long did it take you to learn that about yourself?
Oh my gosh.
That you didn't want, it to be fixed, that you just wanted to be heard.
Well, I don't know, but listen, I mean, this is like therapy 101. Like, so when you go in, like, if you go into therapy, like, everybody should have a good therapist, personally. They say, the people that live in LA, like, if you don't have a therapist, like, you haven't even arrived yet. Like, you got to have therapists.
Wow.
But part of that is just, it's just learning how to have a relationship. But I think I started learning this about myself probably 10 years ago. So for 15 years of my marriage, I did not know that I just was fighting to be heard.
Interesting.
And he was trying to fix everything. And so once we figured that out, and he's like, oh, so I don't have to fix it? Nope. You mean you don't even want it fixed? Nope. Half the time I don't. Wow. I just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because talking about it, I can process it, and then it might fix itself, or I might fix it after I process it, but I have to process it first.
Interesting. And that's so weird that it's like, it's natural for you to kind of be the opposite of your husband. Or
women are so the opposite of men. It is like, we're just not the same as you guys. I think you guys look at things logically. I think you want to fix things right away. And women don't look at things logically. We have an intuition. It's a weird thing. Like, my husband will be like, well, what makes you say that? And I'm like, because I could just feel it. And he's like, no, that's not good enough for me. Right? And now he's just now coming around to, oh, she feels it. Well, if she feels it, something's out there.
Right.
It's just the way that we're created. It's just the way that we've been made. It's like we're an antenna,
Right.
So, weird thing. Here's a weird thing. My mom, so we moved around when I was a kid. So I've counted in my lifetime. I've moved 16 times in my lifetime. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
So my dad he got promoted every 2 years, and we had to move. And then, of course, I became my own person. I became a flight attendant. And so I was always moving here and there. But anyway, my mom, she would... So as I got older, we started living in places a little bit longer. But my mom, she would say, okay, it's time to have a garage sale because I think we're going to move. I think we're moving in about a year or so. And sure enough, man, if it wasn't the truth, she just felt it. It's like, it's time to go. Like, we're moving somewhere. I know we're moving somewhere, so let's just start purging now. Like, she'd start getting ready and start packing stuff. My dad hadn't even gotten any promotion or any other, and it's just like, nope, we're moving. We're done here. It's over. Like, nope, we're going somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah, she just always felt it. She always knew it.
Was she ever wrong or
No, she was right pretty most of the time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a sixth sense, I guess. She knows when she's gonna move next.
I know. I just think she could read the handwriting on the wall, or when Charles and I moved from Roseville to Vacaville.
Yeah.
we moved from Roseville. This story sounds a little cocky, but I had a girlfriend call me up, and she's like, "Hey, the company that I'm working for needs a store manager, and we're thinking, you'd make a really good store manager." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm raising kids. Like, I haven't been a manager in a long time."
Yeah.
And because I've done so many things in my life, and so I said, "Listen, I'll talk to my husband, but I've got these kids." And so I called Charles up and I said, "Hey, they got this position in Vacaville that's open, and Kate thinks that I'd really be good for it and I should apply for it." And he goes, "Oh yeah, you should apply." And I'm like, "Okay, pack your bags, 'cause we're moving," because that's how it happens. Like, I will get the job. Like, if you're telling me that, yeah, go ahead and apply. Like, that's it. Pack your bags, we're moving. And like 6 months later, I got the job and we moved.
That's awesome.
We were out. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But I didn't have that sixth sense like my mom did. Anyway. So, yeah. So girls, boys, weird dynamic. I couldn't give you any advice on how to ask a girl out. Yeah, that's all. I've been out of the loop for so long, he stuck a ring on the finger and that's been it. So
yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I think girls will tell you if they're interested with eye contact.
Really?
Yes. So let's say, which is so sad. This is hard because we're doing this podcast in COVID season.
Yeah. Shockingly,
sitting 4 feet apart, not
shoot.
6. Oh no. Oh, where's my mask? So if you're sitting in class and the girl is staring at you, and every time you look up, she's staring at you, that's a sure sign. Like, you can go ahead and ask her out. Like, if every time you look up, you're locking eyes, then she's ready. She's there.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah.
You just stare?
Oh yeah. Like, hey, I'm staring at you. Come on. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I would imagine that part of it's like he's just good to look at. But then, did you ever like stare at him with the intent that he would ask you out, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that how it works? That's how it works, huh?
Kinda. And also girls get a little touchy feely, like they'll come talk to you and they're like, "Oh my gosh,"
right.
They like touch your shoulder, like and they're touching you. That's sure sign.
Wow.
Yeah. But if they're blowing you off and they're just like, "Yeah, oh sorry Zach, I got a class go, see you later," like, and they don't really want to stick around, then they've got their mind on other things. Yeah. And I wouldn't take it personally. Yeah. It's just that they got their mind on other things. And then there's the relationship where you don't, like, she doesn't know she's attracted to you yet until she gets to know you. And
really?
Then, yeah. Oh. But here's the thing that you gotta know.
Okay.
Here's the thing that you have to know, okay? If you're really good friends with her and she's broken up with somebody else and all she talks about is her ex, you've been friended. And it's not going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You
don't waste your time. Like, you could give it a couple months and see if it changes. But if she's not over that ex, and that's all she's processing with you, she's not going to start to see you as that guy. She's just processing with you.
Right.
So. But if you're like hanging out with a girl, like sometimes there's those friendships where you're like, "Oh, I think I like Zach," like, and you know what I mean? Like, Zach's like, "Oh, I've liked you for a long time," like, hey, wait a second, So, those things happen, and they're kind of cool, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I would imagine it's cool.
Well, they are kind of cool.
Okay. Is that what happened with you, or?
Well, I've been in other relationships than the marriage that I'm in now, but that did happen to me. It happened to me in my relationship before my husband, and we were just like really great friends. And then all of a sudden, it was like, "Oh, he's kind of cute," like we hung out a lot.
Right.
And then it turned a little bit more romantic, but so that didn't end up. So, like, you just never know how it's gonna go. you know? So like my best advice to you would be like, don't, when you do get in that relationship, don't put all your eggs in that basket of that person. Like you really do need to guard your heart until it's time to give it. And I think guys and girls, one of the mistakes that they make, and I think this is a maturity thing, is that they assume like, oh, this is the person I'm going to marry. And they immediately like, they start dating. And by the third date, they're like, we're going to get married and we're going to have babies. And, you know, it's like, whoa, we've rushed to the end so quickly. They say you really should see a person in all 4 seasons. So spring, summer, fall, winter. And you really do need to see them when they have like gotten angry and how they resolve that. You do need to have some friction. I don't think you should have a lot of friction. If there's a lot of friction, this is not the one.
Right.
But I think you do need to figure out, like, how do you guys problem solve together? Is she going to respect you when you've said, like, hey, I know that you're feeling really strongly about this. I'm feeling really strongly about that. How can we work this together? Or is she going to play games? And the minute a girl's playing games, and so I have a son too.
Yeah.
Just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Games are not worth it. You're gonna be with that person for life, hopefully. That's really what we all want, right? We wanna date so that we can get married and just live that, you know, that life with that person. And the minute there's games, it's just not healthy. So
Yeah.
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 But you're just so, like, you're right in that stage now. Like, you've graduated high school, you're starting college, or you've been in college, and you're looking at your passions and what you want to pursue. And this is when it happens. This is when it happens.
I think it was my age that my parents first met, and then, you know, not too much longer they got married. Isn't that weird? I feel like that's super weird. I don't know if I could be married within the next year.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? I know, it's crazy. I think your generation wants to take it a little slower. I think that they do want to have a little bit more, like, ducks in a row, which is good. You want your ducks in a row. Because the things that you're going to fight over, the things are money. Money is always a big fight. Money and sex.
Yeah.
Those are the things that people fight over the most. And then when you have kids, raising those kids, it's like, wait a second, what? You want to do what with our child? You want to take my child where? Don't throw my child up in the air. Yeah. So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird for you to think like you could be, but you could be married in a year.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that's rushing in. You know what I mean?
4 seasons.
4 seasons. You want to know that person for 4 seasons.
Is that because, like,
what are they like at Christmas time?
You want to see, you know, what kind of clothes they wear in summer and winter? No. It's like, it's just like, what are they like in each of those seasons? Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they're super happy in the summertime because they love to be outside in the sun. But maybe in every winter there's depression comes on. This is something you're going to have to deal with. And then the other thing that I would say, and nobody tells you this, no one, except for me.
All right. Okay.
So here I am.
Here it is.
You don't marry a person. You marry them and their family. So you better like their mom and dad, and you better like the brothers and sisters and whatnot, because depending on if they're a close-knit family, you've married the family. You're marrying into a family.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So, I mean, I have a mother-in-law that it's important to her that she speaks into my life.
Right.
It's important to her that she doesn't she's never been overstepped her bounds or anything like that. But it's important to her that, you know, like in our early marriage, things would make me upset about Charles, and I would like gravitate towards the negative, and she would bring me back to like looking at the positive.
Yeah,
And
because she knows Charles too.
She knows him too. Yeah, she knows that he can be a little, crazy sometimes, right? As we both can.
Right.
But it's like just being able to be like, hey, Rochelle, like she's never really given me like this major advice. She just has a motherly way of, wasn't that wonderful that he did this thing? And it's like, oh, like got my eyes off of the negative.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, And then in the case of, Charles marrying into my family, we're such a really close-knit family.
Yeah.
That, like, any given moment, like, someone's going to come walking through the door. My brothers will just come. My brother, Ron, he'll just start walking through the door. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then he'll just pick up a guitar in the house and start playing. And then he won't leave for like 3 hours. So, you married the family, would you like some steak for dinner? We're eating now. So yeah, you just have to.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That sounds like I have no boundaries, but yeah, you marry the family. You're marrying into a family. It's important.
Yeah, families are cool.
Yeah. So you got to, and you got to be able to look that dad in the eye. Mm-hmm.
Shake his hand and
with your luck, he's going to be like 6'5" and 250 pounds.
Right.
And you're like, Knees are shaking. Can I take your daughter out?
Oh man. But yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah. So, girls.
That's good. Girls.
Yeah. What else do you want to know about them?
Okay.
More complicated.
What's more important, looks or a sense of humor?
For a girl?
Yeah.
It's both.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I can. You're a good-looking guy, and you're funny. So
Sweet.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So girls want a guy that is gonna take care of himself. They want, definitely deodorant. Like that's like rule number one. Like, please wear deodorant. Okay. We have serious sense of smells. Like girls, our noses are amazing. So like if you don't smell good, you're out.
Next.
So good deodorant,
okay.
Really good cologne. That goes a long way.
Really?
Clean shirt,
okay.
Nice jeans,
right?
And shoes matter.
Really?
Oh, Zach.
Oh man.
Okay, see, like if you're just hanging out with your like guy friends that are all like video gaming and like that's just like guys don't care about what other guys wear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But girls dress to impress other girls. It's weird.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they also want their men to look just as good.
To impress the girls?
Yes.
Or just
it's
to
like,
be
like this is my man.
to fit
right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So okay. Your first car.
Yeah.
Is it still here? The little red was it a Beamer?
Yes.
Is it here?
Yes, it's here. Yeah,
Okay.
it's out in the
Okay.
front.
So that's a killer car, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
It's a nice convertible Beamer, right? Why'd you buy that car? Why didn't you buy a Pinto?
Because Pintos are dangerous.
And they're ugly.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Sure.
So you're driving in this red Beamer and you feel good. You look good, right? So for a girl, they're like, see my guy?
Okay.
He's got a cute hairstyle. He's, and it's not like you really honestly don't have to look like Brad Pitt or I don't know who's the in guy in your generation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know who he is, right? So you don't have to look like that guy. You just have to have a little bit of put togetherness,
right? And
smell really nice,
right? Smell,
and
okay.
Smells big deal.
Yeah,
it's a really big deal.
Okay.
That's crazy. I know. So and a girl wants a sense of humor, but she'll take the looks over the humor.
Really?
She will.
Okay.
Just imagine. if you're just this sounds so bad, but if you're just not taking care of yourself and
you're just unkempt,
you're not showering,
yeah,
right, and you're wearing like the shirt that you wore like 2 weeks ago and you haven't like laundered it, right? And you're not exercising or whatever, like whatever, right? So, but you're super funny.
Right. You're like,
That girl
number one.
is not, she's like, dude, take a shower. Like get, she's not going to care that. She's not going to care.
Really?
But she's going to want both.
She's going to want both?
Yeah, but I don't think girls want the guy that's so funny that she doesn't get to be funny too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is you, like, I mean, not feel like outdone, I suppose?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So save your joke. I mean, like, give her a couple jokes, but don't give them all at one time. Make her laugh. But I think for you, honestly, you are going to want a girl who has a sense of humor and who can laugh at herself. Because in life, life is comedy. And I can see you with a girl that is like, because your mom's that way. Your mom will high five your dad when she does something completely stupid. She's like, high five, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, right?
Yeah.
They both laugh at themselves, like belly laugh at themselves. And I see you with a girl like that.
Okay.
And being able to still joke around too. And tell those dad jokes that your dad tells. Like,
right.
That your dad says stuff like, what does he say?
Rhinoceros.
Oh, right. Yeah. He calls my son Rhinoceros. But yeah, your dad's a pun guy. He likes to play on words.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There you have it.
There it is. So you want to be able to let girls vent, first off, repeat back to them and address how they're feeling. Mm-hmm. You want to look good and smell good. That's important.
Yeah.
And you want to be funny, but you don't want to be like overly.
You don't want to be overly funny.
Not too much.
And so girls are so complicated because a good girl, I don't think a really good girl, the kind that you want to bring home to mom, right? Is not. I don't think she's a game player and all that. But like they want to be pursued. Mm-hmm. They do want to be pursued.
Okay.
They like flowers and they like those things. They're just complicated. This is really hard. It's a hard one to tell you about because you can't just put everything in a box.
Right.
Either.
Yeah. You can't just write a book and then just know it. I think it's something that you got to learn over time.
And do you want to know what a girl? Okay, so there's this phenomenon in high school where I don't know if when you were in high school, did you ever notice that sometimes the popular guy isn't the most gorgeous guy? It's like, what do girls see in that guy?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what it is?
Okay, what is it?
Confidence. They like a guy that's confident. Huh. And some girls like the cocky guy. There's even like books like, hey, treat her crappy and she will like you. And I don't like that because for me, that's the girl that doesn't know her value and her worth. Mm-hmm. The girl that knows her value and her worth isn't going to take crap. But there's this phenomenon of the jerk. Like, there's the phenomenon of, like, nice guys finish last, right? Nice guys go into the friend zone. Mm. Oh, my God. Right? So, you're just kind of holding these this dichotomy in your hand. There are girls that go for the jerk who has a lot of confidence.
Right.
But then there's girls that know their value and their worth, and they really go for the guy that they can relate to.
Yeah.
But all girls like confidence and really good confidence, not the cocky confidence of like, oh yeah, hey baby, I got you. None of that. Just like, I'm a really good guy. Mm. I'm a catch. And then when you start believing that you're a catch, like I am a catch, and you tell yourself that every day, I'm a catch. No, I'm dead serious.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Like, you just start telling yourself, I am a catch. And then, shower every day. All the stuff I've said, right. Which you do anyway, right? So it's that confidence that comes out. And when guys start to pursue their life, like let's say you wanted like you want to be a math teacher.
Yeah.
Right?
I do.
I know you do. And that's awesome. I mean, not very many people are good with numbers, and I'm so not good with numbers. I don't even like numbers. You're probably like, oh my God, how could you say that? You're cursing. God forbid. But, when a guy starts to pursue his life, and I can guarantee you, Zach, if you don't have girls lined up right now, the minute you get your first teaching job, they're going to be lined out the door, because all of a sudden you've gotten into that thing that you, like, it's like, yeah, hey, well, I'm a teacher now. Like, I got it.
Right.
I got the job. Like, there's a confidence that comes with that. Like, I've pursued what I want. I've gotten that goal. So those goal setting things, when a girl starts seeing a guy pursue his goals and go after them, ooh, that's sexy. It's a whole different, yeah, like, I'm talking about the quality girl. I'm not talking about the girl that wants the one night stand. Like, oh, that's sexy, right?
Right.
I'm not talking about that girl. I'm talking about the girl that really wants to pursue a life mate. When a guy is going after his goals and he's crushing it, that is a turn on.
That's so true. So
Oh, see? Here we go from the peanut gallery. So true.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh.
It is, and when yeah, it's just because something comes out of you when you're pursuing your goal. Something comes out of you with any person, guy or girl. I mean, maybe you were in love with your math teacher. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, she's so hot. She knows numbers and she got a teaching job. I have no idea, but there's a lot. I mean,
okay. So if I could just circle back, you mentioned like near the beginning of this portion that girls like to like fantasize. Like, would you like say that, like, if a guy has set goals and he's reaching them, does a girl ever fantasize like, oh man, what if I'm one of his goals? Like,
well,
like,
I
how does
don't
that
know.
play
I think
into there?
girls have the goal. So the girl has the goal. She has goals herself.
Yeah.
And that goal is like sometimes like I don't know if you just heard Olivia. Like, my daughter was here and she's like, I can't wait to have children. Oh my God, because
Baby
the
fever.
little kids are outside on their little tiny little Mercedes.
Yeah.
They were driving on the street, in their Mercedes, and she's like, oh my God, I want to have a kid. I want to have a kid so bad. This is something she fantasizes about. She thinks about, man, when I'm a mom, I'm totally going to get my kid that tiny little car, and he's going to just drive all over the sidewalk and down the street, and, have the little helmet with the spikes on, like, these are the things that they think about. And so obviously they're looking to make sure that your goals fit in with their goals, and not that every girl is dreaming about having a child. Some girls are like, no, I want to go live in a third world country and be a missionary. Or other people are like, I'm going to, I want to go around the world and travel, or I have no idea. But, I don't think a girl is like, I want to be his goal.
Right. Okay.
Because we don't want to be possessed.
Yeah.
So when you make the girl your goal, you have done error number 1. Like, big. The girl is not the goal.
Interesting.
If you make the girl the goal and she sniffs that out, that is smothering. That's going to feel smothering to her. I'm your goal. I'm your ornament on your arm. I don't want to be an ornament.
Yeah.
I want to be your equal. I want to stand right next to you and do life with you. I want to, buy my little kids Mercedes, and you're the math teacher, and I'm going to go pursue my photography business over here, or whatever, and we're going to do life together, right? But the minute you make her the goal, you've lost.
That's it.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Absolutely not. You make your life the goal. And also another... happiness isn't found in another person. Happiness has to come from you. You have to be happy in your circumstances with whatever.
I believe that.
Yeah. So when you are happy and you're pursuing your goals, out of that comes such beautiful confidence that people are just like, man, I'm drawn to Zach. Like
Right.
yeah.
Like I guess, sorry, an analogy would be like a candle, right? If you're on fire, people are like, wow, it's pretty bright.
It's bright. It's beautiful. It's
beautiful.
giving light to the room. It's dancing. You know how the little fire dances on the wick, right?
Right.
You know, it's like, wow, mesmerizing. Some of it can be really mesmerizing. So, yeah, and I don't want to put in you that like things are the goal, like the nice car and the blah, 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 like getting all that stuff.
Because that's not it.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
At all. I'm talking about setting a goal for yourself,
Just
having a
within.
standard for yourself.
Right.
Like, it could be anything. It could be little micro goals throughout the year. Okay, like planning it out. Like, oh, I'd like to bench, 200 by June. Okay, so you're working out and you're getting there and getting there. Okay, that's a tiny little goal. I want to apply to this program
Right.
in the college. That and some of these applications to the programs are like, we want that you got to do an essay. We want an entire. I just recently did I applied for a program through the Sony, because I shoot Sony. My camera is a Sony.
Yeah.
And I applied for one of their things, and it was a 5-part application. I had to do a video. I had to write an essay. I had to do a business plan. It took me weeks to put this thing together.
Dang.
And I didn't get what I applied for, but the satisfaction when I submitted that thing, I was like, man, I am awesome. I am invincible. Like, because I was able to chunk it out, and I reached that goal. That goal was like, man, I'm going to submit this, and I'm going to submit this before the deadline. So I hate that. That's the one thing I hate about me. So I'm like, oh, the deadline's at midnight on the 5th. And I'm like, it's 11:45, So I submitted it a little early, but like 24 hours early. Wasn't that big of a deal, but still, it was my goal, right?
Yeah.
But, when you can chunk your life out into these things of like, I'm gonna do this for 3 days. Maybe it's like I'm gonna give myself a body cleanse, and I'm only gonna do juice for 3 days, and do that, or I'm gonna pray for 30 days and see what happens, right? If you're the kind of person that prays, so chunk those things out, and when you start hitting goals, that is what creates confidence. That's what it is so attractive. A confidence is the most attractive thing on the planet.
Okay, and then let me just throw in another one. So, planning, praying. What about I don't know, a podcasting? Is that
Podcasting? I love this. Podcasting is awesome. I think more and more people, I think that we're becoming an audible society.
Yeah.
Where we used to be a reading society, a reading and writing, and now we are video and audible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not that audible is, I guess that's really where you go listen to your books, but an auditory society. One of the people that I follow is Russell Brand. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't.
Okay, he was like a total drug addict.
Oh, man.
Total, he was rock star. He was married to Katy Perry.
No way.
Yeah, long hair,
Oh.
And he is just all over the place in his podcast. But that's one of the reasons why I like him, is because you don't know what he talks about prayer on one hand, and then he's like his grieving cat. He went on for 45 minutes about his cat and the significance of his cat, because his cat just recently died.
Oh.
But the depth of what he brings is hilarious, and it's good, and he's hilarious at the same time. Or he'll just get on and he'll read a children's story.
Really?
And he's got this British accent, so he does this stuff. I'm fascinated. I'm stuck. I'm glued and listening. And I think that people want that more. I think that podcasts, I'd rather listen to a podcast when I'm driving down the road than music.
Really?
Like, okay, if I'm cleaning my house, it's music. But if I'm driving down the road, I want to listen to a podcast because it gets my mind going.
Yeah.
It gets my like, oh yeah, so Zach really wants to get a girlfriend. And Rochelle thinks that girls are, fantasizing too much or blah, 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 And there's just, you get to join that conversation. So this is a great outlet for you, and it's a great goal to have. I think it's wonderful. And the beauty of the podcast is you can look back over the years and you can see how you've grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did start this. I mean, I didn't, have any like viewership in mind. I don't want to be like famous off of this or anything.
Sure.
I do want to do this for myself. And this was kind of, one of my goals.
Yeah.
Something I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you decide, like, all of a sudden you're like, well, you woke up, bing, I want to start a podcast. What was it?
Well, I mean, okay, I'm kind of like you. I will listen to podcasts instead of music pretty much whenever. And yes, that's just how it is. I think they're interesting. And there's so much, like, even if I'm like, I don't know how much of it I retain either. Yeah. But it's just like listening to the people talk with each other is cool. Yeah. And over the years, I've, got this microphone. I've got...
nice microphone, dude.
Yeah. Thank you. And just like a recording software.
Yeah.
I thought I did wake up one day and say to myself, I want to do a podcast. And it just happened.
Yeah.
The first episode, I didn't even use any of this stuff. I'm like, you don't need much to start anything,
sure.
right? I took my phone, and my sister and I, we walked a trail and threw the phone back and forth to each other with the microphone application. And that was kind of the start of it.
Which sister?
Annie. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a lot to say.
She does. And she has a cool voice, too.
I know.
A lot of people don't like to hear themselves on recording. I kind of like my voice, but Annie's voice is so good. Like, you got to listen to some of those. Like, I think that she could go and be like an audible narrator.
Yeah.
That would...
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And her singing voice is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
That's awesome. I love that.
But yeah.
It's funny because I've thought about, oh, it'd be fun to have a podcast or a video cast. But then I sit back and I go to myself, Rochelle, you got nothing to say. But isn't that funny? You're asking me these questions about girls. I'm like, oh, let me tell you,
Right.
But, I think for me, I think of podcasts like, oh, we're gonna explore this subject. But I think some of the best podcasts are the podcasts that explore all subjects, like whatever.
Yeah. Like
I don't know
Candids almost.
Do you ever listen to Dax Shepard?
I don't.
I do. I like Dax. He's a little controversial, but I like Dax. And I listen to all sorts of. I listen to Christian podcasts. I listen to total non-Christian podcasts. I'm like all over the place because it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
But I think some of the best podcasts are it's just like, hey, we're going to talk about girls today and a little bit of photography. And tomorrow we're going to talk about, grinding our coffee beans and why it's good for you. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Are grinding coffee beans good for you?
I probably,
Freshly ground.
More natural, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't drink coffee, so...
That's the next episode, everyone, so stay tuned.
Yeah. You got to find a local roaster. Yeah.
I mean, I might know, like, a previous coffee shop owner. I might hit him up. You talk about I'm talking about Cup of Joe with my dad.
Okay, so I think you're onto something with the girls thing, to be really honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that if you sat down every guest and just got to know them a little bit, hey, so you're a gardener. All right. Tell me a little bit about clipping those roses. What do you think of girls? I think if you went back to girls every time, honestly, I think that there are guys all over the world that are just like you. Like, how do I ask her out? Like, what, I think that there'd be some really great, you could get some really great answers out of people.
Yeah.
You can learn from the old man down the street. He's like, well, back in my day.
You have to file a newspaper. Oh man, I couldn't. But yeah, no. Because that's like girls is like, it's one subject, but it's different for literally everyone.
I think you'd have a lot of listeners. I know
Yeah.
you don't. I know that wasn't your goal.
Right.
Was to make a lot of listeners. But if you made girls the subject, like more like, okay, guys, I'm trying to understand women, and this podcast is about understanding women, which is such like it could go on for infinity because women are so complex. I think that you could really have a lot of people giving their 2 cents and probably some great advice,
Yeah.
you know.
One of my favorite little like series of videos that I found on YouTube, they were called like 50-cent interviews. And this guy would sit on a table with a sign that says 50-cent interviews, and he would go and he would interview people and then at the end give them 50 cents. But what I did love about that is just it was the same questions and every person answered them differently. So, that being said, like with the girls question, that could be.
Yeah, it could. Like, did you ever watch that show? And the guy, I think he just recently passed away. God rest his soul. But it was like Into the Artist Studio or something like that. And he would interview actors, and he would always ask the exact same questions. And he always would say, okay, if you ended up in heaven and, you were standing in front of the pearly gates or whatever, like, what do you want God to say? Most people are like, they want to hear, well done, like, you did a good job, yay, you're here, woohoo, you made it. But I loved that because each person, like, he would ask them, what's your favorite curse word? It's just the weirdest questions, but it's like, what is that person's favorite curse word? Yeah, not that I would recommend that on your show, but just the 50-cent interview, it's kind of cool. Like, if you could just have your conversation, and then at the end of the show, okay, here's what it is. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite?
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for coming. Here's some. Except I'm gonna demand 75 cents.
Oh, I don't know. Budget's kind of short.
I'm joking. Yeah.
We are running out of around like 57 minutes. It's been a while.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
Wow. I guess I really do have something to say.
Yeah.
Here I thought I had nothing to say. But then you asked me about girls, so I am one. Yeah.
So, I don't want to keep this going for too much longer. Sure. But yes, Rochelle Wilhelms, is there anything you want to plug, like an Instagram or like a business?
I don't know, I love my business. I am RochelleWilhelms.com. The last name is spelled Wilhelms. So there you can see my photography work. And I am Rochelle Wilhelms on Instagram. And if you're getting married soon, which is so sad because we're in the days of COVID, and a lot of my brides had to postpone their weddings. But check me out. And if you need a portrait so that you can get that lady to like you,
there you go.
Check me out. So I do travel, obviously, because I'm down here visiting you. So yeah, that's the only thing I got to plug. I wish I could say I have a book or I've got this, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just my business.
Well, no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the podcast with me.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
I hope you get the girl.
Me too. Oh man. Well, I hope I respect myself first.
Yes.
So
Goals and
There's that.
confidence goes a long way.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's it. All right.
Thanks.